And right now we're being joined by the guy who tweeted this out. I mean, I'd say, roughly about an hour ago, maybe a little longer than that. Jason Anderson of the Sacramento Bee, our friend, joins us. He tweeted out about an hour ago that this deal was going to happen, that momentum was picking up. Jason, just first, your thoughts on this signing. Do you like it?
Yeah, I do like it for some reasons. I think there are probably concerns as well, but no, I like it. I think the biggest thing here is going to be chemistry. Obviously, we all know Malik Monk and De'Aaron Fox played together at Kentucky and really just had an incredible year there with the Wildcats. It was 2016-17. They went 32-5, and both of those guys put up big numbers together. They've remained close over the years, and now they're going to be a lot closer because they're going to be playing together in Sacramento. I think they'll be highly motivated to make this pairing work, and to work for Coach Mike Brown, and we'll see how that goes.
Jason, when Donte DiVincenzo wasn't tendered yesterday, I had a lot of people scratching their heads and theories, hypotheses out there that maybe this was setting up for another move. Was this Donte or Malik? Was this the other shoe to drop after not tendering a contract to Donte DiVincenzo yesterday?
Yeah, it looks that way. I can't say for sure, but it does look that way. This is the stuff with Malik, like I've been hearing about for the past couple of days. I heard really fairly early in the day today that it was going to happen. I kind of sat on it for a while. I was just trying to tie up some loose ends on the reporting side. But yeah, I ended up tweeting it out at 1:30 or so, somewhere in that 1:30 to 2 o'clock range. I was fairly confident in at least saying that, there were some pretty strong indications that they were moving in that direction.
Jason Anderson is with us from the Sacramento Bee, Cattles and Ramie, Sactown Sports 1140. Jason, you might not know this just yet, but signing Monk to this 2-year, $19 million deal, have you heard anything on whether or not he is going to be the starting two guard for this team, or could he possibly be like a sixth-man offensive microwave kind of player?
I don't know at this point what their plan is there. I think that with Donte seemingly being on his way out, they were certainly looking for a starting caliber shooting guard. Malik is a guy who started 37 games for the Lakers last year, shot 39% from three-point range. And he's still a young player. He came out in the same draft as De'Aaron. He was the number 11 pick that year. So young guy, both 24 years old. Malik still has some room to grow, and maybe the biggest thing for him in this equation is an opportunity to grow. And I think there is a good chance that he does move into that starting role next to De'Aaron.
The one thing that he doesn't address and is a major hole for this Kings team is defensively. He doesn't bring a lot to the table defensively to a team that has a lot of guys who also fit that profile. Do you think now that's where they turn their attention via free agency and trades to bring in at least one or two guys that can come in here and improve this team defensively?
Well, you would sure hope so, because he's a little bit undersized at the shooting guard spot at 6'3" and 200 pounds. The Kings have talked about wanting to add length and defense and shooting. Monk certainly helps in the shooting department, but not in those other two areas. So, this is a situation where, they do have more work to do in filling out that roster and trying to add defense on the wings. I think you hope that maybe, unlike years past, the whole is greater than the sum of the parts, just with, Mike Brown and maybe his emphasis on defense and maybe being able to get more out of these guys in that way. And again, I think the motivation factor is going to be big here because De'Aaron can guard guys.
Right.
He's been asked to do so much here with the ball that it's really been, it's difficult to exert 100% energy at both ends of the floor. Do you know what I mean? So he now, though, if he's got a guy like Monk that he's got good camaraderie with, he can, I think they're going to be highly motivated, as I said before, to make this thing work and maybe be together for some time.
Jason Anderson is with us here on Sactown Sports 1140, Cattles and Ramie. Jason, One of my first thoughts when I saw this scuttlebutt, as they say, last night, all these rumors about Malik Monk, I just sat back and kind of thought, this could be De'Aaron's team now. And I know we say, oh, he's been here for a while, and if there is going to be a number one on this team, it would be De'Aaron Fox. Do you think this is Monty? I mean, first you can argue picking Keegan Murray over Jaden Ivey. Now he brings in Fox's friend, his former backcourt mate in college. Is this Monty giving the keys to De'Aaron saying, hey, it's now up to you to be the number one alpha?
Yeah, I guess you could look at it that way. I definitely think you build some goodwill here with Fox, who has waited and waited for, to have the right pieces around him. You make the big move for Sabonis last year, and kind of, I don't know, clear up a little bit of that logjam in the backcourt where they had Tyrese and someone else who was a little bit ball dominant. So, I think there's an element to that here. And look, Fox is, the leadership role for De'Aaron here has been a little complicated from the start. I mean, I was in that locker room early in his career, and Fox was looked at as that guy and was kind of empowered to be that guy,
right?
Under the previous regime, and in the previous iteration of this locker room, where they had guys like Amon Shumpert, who was kind of the OG in the locker room, and made sure everyone recognized Fox for who and what he was. And then they make that trade, and the dynamics changed when Harrison Barnes came in, and they added some other veteran players, and it's kind of gone back and forth in a way. And it was never that, the Kings didn't want Fox to be that guy. It was just him growing into it, I think. And now going into year 6, he certainly had that time to grow into it, and having his former Kentucky backcourt mate coming in, who certainly recognizes him for who and what he is. I think that only helps to solidify that role for Fox.
The other guy, and you mentioned him, that the Kings are hoping for big things from, and to be maybe the number 2 to De'Aaron Fox's number 1 is Domantas Sabonis. I saw him working with a shooting coach the other day. Was that something he took upon himself, or was that per request of the Kings saying you need to go work on that shot this offseason?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that, but I can tell you that's one of the elite shot doctors that's out there right now. And Domas has been working with him, not just recently, but for a matter of months, I believe. And so I would not be at all surprised, and in fact kind of expect Domas to come back and maybe be willing to let it fly a little bit more, because he seems to have been working hard on it. And I think, obviously that's an aspect of Fox's game that could take a step up too. So, they need to add stuff, but they can also get better by just getting better and improving amongst themselves. And I think that's going to be a big part of what we see this coming season, where you have a full season together with Fox and De'Aaron, who really didn't play many games together, as it turned out last season. Even after the acquisition, both of them were in and out and up and down. So, you get a full season with them. You get some continuity with the coaching staff and some other pieces that they have in place, and maybe they can start to build on this thing.
Jason, we appreciate your time. I know you're a busy guy. Let's do this again soon, my friend.
Anytime, buddy. You guys have a good day.